Good evening. Today is the last day of March, 3/31. This reading is for the write-up I did a little while ago, which is for 4/1/2026. Which tomorrow, 4/1, is also the pink full moon. It's tomorrow night at 10:12. It's the first full moon of 2026 by seasons, spring. It's the partial full moon. The write-up, going down the write-up, and then reading it, and then just throwing a card for it and see what it says. So 4/1/2026. 4 in my numerology system is either balance or trap. It's really the same thing. Balance is a trap. Oh, Mister, how you doing, bro? So where you hear me say balance is a trap, because balance already puts you in the mind state of duality. People walk around with this innate programming that they have to have balance with somebody else. That means somebody else is already your condition. The minute that other part of the equation is not on their best behavior, you're already screwed. So balance can make you sick. That's why you always hear me say wholeness. Wholeness, even when you want to start saying, oh man, you can't get wholeness, you can't get balance. You can't keep balance. So you might as well lie to yourself about having wholeness in this land of illusion. You might as well focus on wholeness instead of lying to yourself about having balance, because you're already trapped. You're trapped in trying to balance your energy versus somebody else who may not be good at balancing their energy. Or, to be honest with you, they might be good at balancing their energy. You might be good at balancing your energy. Y'all might just not be good at balancing your energy together. Either way it go, when you start trying to balance your energy together, you're now in an account. You understand it? When you go to the bank and you put your money in there, you open an account. Here in this realm, we're a bunch of open accounts. That is basically the collective consciousness. We're a bunch of open accounts, interconnected. What I do affects you directly and indirectly. What you do affects me directly and indirectly. Don't believe it? Look at what that orange sick motherfucker up there doing. Whatever he's doing is affecting everybody else indirectly or directly. We have an open account and we are balanced with him, because the balance of everybody else and their imbalances is holding this whole shit show together. The collective consciousness is nothing but one big trapped energy, and the summation of everybody's imbalances becomes the balance of the whole equation. Take your time with that one. So get back to what I was reading. Trapped awareness in empathic overwhelm. 2026 is empathic overwhelm. So again, 4 is balance, but balance is a trap. 1 is a multiple vibration. 1 is awareness. 1 is potential. 1 is the illusion. 1 is alchemy. 1 is magic. So much in 1. 1 will show you everything. 1 will show you where you already fooled yourself. So trapped in the awareness of an empathic overwhelm. 2026. All last year I tried to tell you 2026 was going to be the year of overwhelm. It's going to be the year of spiritual addictions. Look at where we're at. We're in empathic overwhelm. People have been through so much already, and we're just now making it out of the 3rd month that most people don't even care what's coming next. Realistically, people are like, what's next? We've already seen so much, man. Have no expectations for what's coming next. Nobody's really surprised at what's coming next, because we've already made allowance for expecting to see worse. That's not a good place to be. When you have left room to be fine with seeing so much more, you help create it. So trapped in the awareness of empathic overwhelm. Here in the South, we use blue glass, paint glass, spirit bottles. You'll see people around here, appropriation nonetheless, but you'll go around here in the, not just the Gullah Geechees, but, the well-to-do people who have money around here, they'll have blue bottles in their yard, hung on the trees and stuff. And, when you start getting into folk magic and stuff, it's, to trap the spirit's energy in there, so that if there's a spirit coming in that's not supposed to be around the area, it gets trapped in the bottle. So going back to what I'm reading, we use the blue glass to trap spirits. Well, I think that this whole big blue marble that we call Earth, Terra, Gaia, Ki, whatever name you want to get it, grandfather turtle. I don't give a fuck what name you try and call this shit. It's one big spirit trap. We're one big awareness trapped inside this big blue glass. I don't give a fuck about it being glass. I don't give a fuck about it being round or square or semicircle or flat. You can keep lying to yourselves about that shit all day long. It don't matter. You're trapped. And inside of this big blue marble, the awareness is being torn into that consciousness that I was telling you about. You're torn into the consciousness, and all of the consciousness that are torn from that awareness, each one is looking at its own self as an infinite perspective of the potential to have an experience on how to get out of the trap. You understand that? You're trapped in, you put a container full of water inside a glass. Each molecule within that glass now has the potential to move in its own direction, as if it has its own sentience. And so within its own sentience, it's now thinking for itself, but it's still trapped in the same container. That's pretty much how this collective consciousness is working. It is everybody is in the same container, trying to think for themselves, as themselves, so much to the point that we forgot who we are as one. That's why we can't get shit together, because we're too busy playing a part, but there is no separation. So everybody's just trying to find a way to get out on their own without realizing that there is no separation. It's just the illusion. You've trapped your awareness inside that blue glass, and now you're trying to find a way to get out. But the illusion was you're only trapped in the blue glass so that you can think that you need to get out, when the whole trick was you need to learn how to hold yourself together. Become bigger than the glass. You understand that? Sometimes if somebody is trying to contain you, sit still so that you can see that, holy shit, I can't be contained. God damn. I'm not going to call names, but there's a certain celebrity that I really wish he would get his shit together. He's really inspirational if you sit down and watch him. He's really inspirational if you sit down and watch him. He has a lot of Disney specials, and I watch a lot of his shit. And he goes around the world, and he be climbing mountains, and he goes underwater, and he does all kind of shit. And it's be like, damn, he's got experiences that my old ass ain't gonna do no more. I'm not climbing no mountain. I'm not doing all that shit. But I like to watch him do that shit. It's like you've had a hard life, and you get a bum rap, and you got a sorry ass wife. I said it. And you out here doing all kind of inspirational shit, and you getting all these profound messages from your experiences. And you're finding the bigger pieces of your own puzzle, but you tied your puzzle, you've trapped your puzzle to another piece of consciousness that you think is a part of your puzzle, when it's really just a part of your trap. So what I'm saying is, you have contained yourself. This celebrity I'm talking about has contained himself to somebody else who is contained within herself. And because he doesn't see himself as enough, he can't get out of his own traps of within himself. So he's trapped within his bigger container alongside somebody else who's trapped within the bigger container, because she's fine being contained within herself. Because within the container of herself, she gets to eat everybody's energy. She's a fucking vampire. A bald-headed vampire. You should know what the hell I'm talking about by now. You understand what I'm saying? So while he out here begging on her to see him, he's lost sight of himself. Empathic overwhelm. He's trapped his awareness in what he thinks he needs from her, that he's lost sight from what he needs to find within himself. So getting back to what I'm saying about being trapped in that blue glass, he no longer sees himself because he's found her as the prize. And to be honest, been there, done that. I think that's why it hits home so hard. It's like, damn, been there, done that. And won't nobody ever be able to take that away from him until he realizes it for himself. Dude, the only difference is this motherfucker got millions. Dude, and it ain't about, well, you got millions, you can do whatever you want, but you can do whatever you want. You are at a point to where life can afford you the escapes to present yourself with options to see better and see more. You don't have to limit yourself to the bullshit that you're subjecting yourself to. And I know he'll never see this shit because, we just peons to him. But motherfucker, wake up. Stop trapping your awareness in an empathic field of overwhelm when the real overwhelm is you don't love yourself enough. And that's what this 4/1/2026, April Fool's Day, the full moon, you're emotional about your own sickness. April Fool's Day, you fooled yourself into thinking that the trap gonna set you free if you feed enough energy into the trap to where the trap will now love you enough to set you free. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? Well, maybe if we just stay on that plantation and work hard, or maybe if we pick enough cotton, maybe one day they'll set us free. That's some real shit. Or like I saw some stupid idiot post a little while ago. The best way to defeat your enemy is on your knees. The greatest weapon is prayer. On your knees. That's how you fight your family. That's how you fight your battles. You protect your family on your knees. Sound good. It don't even sound good to me. But it sounds good to somebody with an indoctrinated mind to where you've already been taught submissive formats to keep you in overwhelm. You don't even want to think from a position of getting out of the trap. You think for the trap. So April Fool's Day, you will fool yourself into thinking for what already has you in submission. And as it's going to come up in this reading, and I've been seeing it for the past few days, a lot of motherfuckers going to die on that hill that they never should have climbed. You're going to die on that hill that you never should have believed in. If you are trapped in the awareness that has only left you in empathic overwhelm, the first person that got caught in the trap was you. You let your fires burn you. 2, 5. 2 connected, 5 movements. You connected your movements to whatever burned you. What was burning you? Whatever you thought was going to set you free. I want to go back to the celebrity one. I thought that she loved me. I thought that if I loved her enough, that one day she'll love me enough to set me free. And go back to the slave mentality. I thought if I loved master enough, then one day he'll love me enough to set me free. And go back to the government mentality. I thought if I voted for them enough times, that maybe one day they'd protect me and set me free. And go to religious. I thought that if I loved them and prayed hard enough, that one day they'll do something different and set me free and protect me and save me. And 2 5s, 55, the master manipulator. You manipulated yourself. Why? Because you moved away from yourself trying to find something to save you. Holy sheep shit. Did you catch that? If you are in danger and you move away from yourself looking for somebody to save you, you probably missed the opportunity to save yourself. That is already where you fucked up. Hey man, I'm on fire. Put yourself out. I can't, but can you help me? Hey man, put yourself out. I can't. Hey, put yourself out. I can't. I don't know how. I don't know how either. All right, well, I'll keep going until I find somebody that can. Hey man, why don't you stop and try and figure out, put yourself on fire? I can't, but I'm going to pray. Just a burning. And that's how some of y'all do. Yes, but no. Love yourself enough to want something to change. Love yourself enough to be the change. See the difference? Love enough to see what needs to change. And love myself enough to see that the main thing that probably needs to change is me. I need to change how I'm thinking. In the analogy of trying to find somebody to save me before I've done everything to save myself, programming, I thought somebody had more responsibility to me than I had to myself. In the celebrity analogy, I thought that somebody was supposed to love me more than I was supposed to love myself. And then once that they love me enough to love myself, then I'll have peace, balance. Irresponsibility. Remember the first thing I said, you might not have been in here, but the first thing I said, that 4, balance, is an automatic trap. It's automatic separation. Wholeness. I need to be responsible for my energy, and then I can find somebody else who's responsible for their energy, and then we can figure it out together. Then, if I'm responsible for my energy, the minute that person becomes irresponsible with their energy, I got choice. But if I'm only dependent on the responsibility of their energy to be responsible for my energy, holy shit show. Hello, planet Earth. A bunch of erratic motherfuckers who can't get their shit together unless everybody else get their shit together. Lack of accountability by one means lack of accountability by all. But if everybody was accountable for their energy, then the minute that we saw one person being not accountable for their energy, there would be no space for them. But because this current format has built balance on whoever is the most accountable for the determination of what accountable energy is, and the persons currently running the accountability meter is the most unaccountable forces on this planet. We'll be honest. White people in the Jewish ruling society, they have been setting the standard for centuries on what accountability is. But when faced with accountability, look at it. Let's just be real. We're not going to sugarcoat shit in here. But look what happened at the UN. They had this resolution on what was the greatest atrocity, and it was the motherfuckers who either had dastardly shit done to them, or in this case, was doing the dastardly shit. The Jewish people were buying all the ships. The American people were hoarding all the slaves, ordering all the slaves, and abusing all the slaves, and making the slaves build their country. And Argentina was just a bunch of sympathizers doing the same shit. So you had the motherfuckers that was benefiting from the atrocity that didn't want anything to do with it. No, that wasn't what it was. No accountability. But because they have been writing the book for so long and nobody done anything to them, they still thought that it was cool to still keep status quo. But that shit's falling apart. They have been used to burning everybody else, that when they was used to holding on to burning everybody else, the world is not holding on to that ideology anymore. So now, accountability is starting to come into play. But like I said a minute ago, it's not that easy. Just because now you want accountability and now you see who doesn't have any, it don't mean that shit's going to change. It don't work that way. What I said a few weeks ago and what we're seeing now is what's happening and what's going to continue happening is scapegoatism. We went from Trump's a piece of shit to now Israel's going to become the uber bad guy. Trump's still going to be a piece of shit, but it's going to be more Israel shouldn't have never done this. And Trump is, he should have done this, but you know what? Hey, maybe he just really didn't know. It's going to be some sympathizing because it's going to still be the need to be lack of accountability by the same people who have benefited from all of the aforementioned parties still keeping their status quo. The main thing is the people who have always benefited from lack of accountability still don't want to take none because they still don't want to embrace the change that is going to come from admission. So they're still trapped in that awareness. So what do I know? We'll see. So 44-7. Next line. Manifested perspective of self-awareness. See the above. See everything I just got through saying. We're basically in a trapped blue glass and everybody is trying to figure out their best perspective on how to get out on their own. But the whole problem is I am you, you are me. You can't get out on your own unless we all get out together because there is no separation. But as long as you think we're playing a part, we'll all keep playing a role. As long as you think we're all playing a part, we all keep playing a role. We all keep doing the same damn dance over and over and over again. And it just won't stop. 44, the master manifester. It just won't. Bubbles. Think about it. Bubbles in the glass are air spaces. Air spaces create more rifts between the actual energy. Those can become real dangerous. Those can become energetic buildup points to where you can actually cause, and I used to do this when I used to make orgonite, certain stones will produce a lot of energetic charges. Like if you ever make orgonite, if you make it and charge it properly and you put a cup of ice water on it and freeze it, when you take the ice cube from off of the orgonite water, when you freeze it, take that ice cube out of the glass and melt it in some hot water, melt it in a pot, when you melt it, it pushes off photon light because it's charged, and you'll see bubbles of light erupting in the glass because it's stored energy. The bubbles hold stored energy. The water molecules themselves are trying to dance and find position. They're trying to find position around stored energy. The stored energy erupts, and then the water molecules are trying to get to where the stored energy is at. If the water molecules are greedy and unaccountable, they're going to try and steal more energy than others. They're going to hoard and try and take more light for themselves. So there's more separation. The molecules that think that they are now more entitled to the photonic light that is being immersed from the energetic disruption are going to try and steal more energy than the other ones so that they gain more space. It becomes more fragmentation within the illusion of separation. We've seen that before over time. Hopefully we won't see that again soon, if that made sense to you. So 44-7, manifested perspective of self-awareness. It's the spiritual identity crisis, kind of the same thing that I'm writing right here. It's the spiritual identity crisis where you invest in the role you perceive to be playing at the moment as best as you can understand from your fractured and fragmented POV, aka cosmic psychosis. I need to get what is best for me so that I can secure my position. Kind of the same thing I said. If I haven't taken accountability, but I don't really like what's going on, but it's afforded me some amenities. So while I see shit falling apart, I need to hold on to as many amenities as I can before they come for my amenities. So I'll support whatever I safely can without having to do anything different because I didn't do it. I just benefit from what's being done. So more lack of accountability, but more positioning as long as you got somebody you can scapegoat to. More of the same shit we're seeing. More of the same shit we're seeing. More deceit. More people being angry publicly, but still loving it privately. There's a lot of people angry about that $4.35 at the pump. But that shit ain't hurting their bank account. What up, brother? That shit ain't hurting them. There's more people angry about ICE being funded another $400 billion or whatever the fuck they got. But it don't affect them because they're not on the target list. There's more people angry about DEI and this and that and the other, but it don't affect them because they don't have that condition. And while I empathize with you, guy, you don't have that condition. So there's only so much I can do. Am I saying you should really care and do something? I can't tell you to do that. Because at the end of the day, what can you do if you're just one? Perfect separation. One person can't change many, especially when many have keep on choosing one to change all. That's why you can't invest in the system and keep putting one person in there and thinking that they're going to be the controller for all. You dumped your energy into a bad system. Cosmic psychosis. So 3 is the thought. That thought process, the one that has your ear, has deceived you where you've told yourself, like I was giving the example with that photonic light, that I need to hoard whatever system. And I was talking to the missus about this earlier, and I talked about this over the years. Benny from the Mummy. You'll pull out whatever keeps you safe. If it's the cross this week, if it's the Star of David next week, if it's the Buddha symbol next week, if it's the motherfucking upside of the inverted cross next week, if it's the Ankh next week, you're going to pull out whatever's going to make you feel safe as long as it keeps the majority off your ass. And that's what you're going to see. A lot of people are going to bandwagon and going to switch back and forth to whatever the strongest belief set is, as long as it keeps the attention off of them. A bunch of fucking liars. You don't support it. You just support whatever keeps you in the position to be able to keep supporting your family. And hey, I can't tell you that that's wrong. You gotta let your life tell you too. Hey, They did that in the 30s in Germany. It wasn't a benefit to get out there and fight the Nazis when they were attacking the immigrants and then attacking the this, that, and the others. And it wasn't. It is. But this is the realm of ego. And when you keep doing everything by ego, what choice you got? What choice you got? So 44/7, you keep on manifesting a perspective of you can only be aware of what you help create. You created an ego event. So guess how you have to move? You have to move with your ego, because you can sit there and I'm going to meditate and I'm going to stay in my highest vibration while everybody is doing everything to stay in a low vibration. And then they're going to keep putting you in high vibrational, lower vibrational experiences. And then the only person that's going to be being deceived is you, because you're not going to be seeing your reflection. You're going to be seeing the truth. You're going to be seeing your truth. You're going to be seeing, it's the same thing like you hear me say, if you go to the club, and you know the club is a low vibrational place. The majority of them. If you go to the club, it's a low vibrational place. But you're going to go in there and I'm finna meditate. Or I'm going to bring my sage and my Palo Santo and I got my ankh and my waist beads on and my leques because see, they ain't finna bring that fuck shit to me. Pow, pow, pow. Wait a minute. But you was on some high vibrational shit. But that pew, pew, pew took your ass out. Who was wrong? The low vibrational place that was already known to be low vibrational, or your idiotic self that thought that your high vibration was going to permeate low vibration? See, your awareness wasn't on point. Our awareness ain't on point. We can lie, and that's why I've been telling y'all this for the past few years. This is not a high vibrational realm. This is a low vibrational trap. You lie to yourself about being high vibrational while watching nothing but low vibrational shit. I'm not telling you that you can't have high vibrational tendencies, but this is a low vibrational realm. This is an exerted realm. High vibration does not require exerted energy. This motherfucker here is full of exerted energy. This is a realm of experience. This is a realm of trauma. Ain't nothing fucking high vibrational about trauma. This is a realm of pain. So you can lie to yourself and buy the fluffy foo-foo and tell yourself this, that, and the other, and spirit told me this and spirit told me that. Spirit is your trauma. Spirit is your measuring tool trying to tell you how to remember who you are, but spirit don't remember who it is either. Spirit don't remember who it is either, so it's just trying to communicate with you and hope that you remember who you are. But you probably didn't catch that. Spirit giving you a message to see if you remember that you were spirit. Next line, 66.3. Self-sabotage by the 3. 66.3. Self-sabotage by the thought that has already been deceived. I've been placed inside that damn blue glass that done trapped me and got me in fragmentation. And now I don't remember who I am. And now I got to get out here and give messages to myself that I don't remember who I am, but I'm going to tell them who they are so they can get themselves back together. Give that man a fucking prize. And I'm not trying to be funny, but that's only the same damn thing I've been saying since 2015. This is you in the separation of yourself. Only you don't remember who the fuck you are. And you've been given a programming of what you've been told you are. Only that's not who you are. And you're only trying to pull from the traumas of what you think you are to remember what you are. But that's not what you are. And that's not what you've been through. It's just the programmings of what you've been taught to believe so that you don't know what you are. Huh? Cosmic psychosis. 66.3. Self-sabotage by a thought that has already been deceived. If you buy a computer and the program has been put in backwards, and every time you turn on your computer, you go to your backwards ass program to get an answer, guess what your answers are? Backwards. You are in a matrix thought that has already been pre-programmed to get an answer to get you out of the program. Guess what your answer is? Pre-programmed. Self-sabotage by a thought. Giving too much energy to a thought, and now it becomes your Lord and Savior. Thanks, Bugs Bunny Jesus. Thanks, Bugs Bunny Jesus. I don't know if you've seen that picture I put up last week where I said this is basically Bugs Bunny in any of his episodes where he's, helping Bugsy, helping Elmer Fudd, helping Daffy Duck, helping Marvin the Martian. He putting them through the dozens. He's a fucking sacred clown. He's a trickster. Hey, pal, I'll help you. Come on, I got you. Are you sure you're going to set me free? Sure, I got you, old pal. Trust Bugs. You don't know who you are? I'll help you remember. Wink, wink. Stuffing your ass in the oven, blowing you up, sticking dynamite in your asshole. Are you sure this is me, Bugs? Yeah, pal, I got you. But you ain't got nothing else to go off of. And anything is better than nothing. To a mind who has nothing to go on, anything is better than nothing when you don't know how to think for yourself. When you don't know how to think for yourself, you'll grab anything that looks like it's better than nothing. Remember what I was saying about the celebrity? When you don't know how to love yourself, you'll grab anything that you think can love you the way that you want to love yourself. Apply that to your consciousness. When you can't consciously think for yourself, you'll grab a hold of anything that you think has a conscious programming that can teach you who you forgot you are. Especially if you done read it in a book and took some bullshit ass 9-week course or somebody that gave you a damn prolific 30-minute reading and they need a 6-hour reading they goddamn self. 66.3. 6. Traumas. You got traumas all around you, and them 3s, your thoughts. You got traumas all around you, and them motherfuckers are telling you how to think. Make that make sense. Self-sabotage. 66. 2/3 of the motherfucking devil is I got traumas all around me. If I got traumas all around me, think about it. You're on, I hate using that because fuck you, Bob Barker. I used to love you, motherfucker. I used to love you. Think about it. You're on Price is Right. You got 5 seconds to get an answer, and the audience shouting, door number 3 or whatever. Pick number 5, pick number 5. And Bob is like, hurry up, I need an answer. You got traumas all around you. 600. You can't think because you got pressure. You got traumas all around you, and you already in a panic. So now you got traumas all around you, and you already got traumas within you, and you can't think for yourself. The loudest voice in your head, because you already don't trust your own. The loudest voice in your head becomes the safest one for you to listen to because there already was no safety within. I need an external fire to guide me because I've already found deceit in my own reflection. This is Oshun. Oshun is the reflection. I don't love myself. I don't love myself enough to see myself, so I need something else to guide me. That's what this is. This is Oya, the fire, and this is Oshun, the love. I need to be guided externally because I don't love myself to communicate with myself, so now I need to be deceived. Only if you understand me as a trickster, it's not malicious. Bugs Bunny, it's not malicious. Oh, you don't want to help yourself? I'll help you. I'll abuse you until you learn to help yourself. Go ahead, get in that oven. That's how you get out. Go ahead, get in the oven. Turn it to 450. That's how you get free. See, common sense would be like, hey, no, dog, that ain't safe. But fear mine? Okay. Get on your knees and pray. Okay. Go jump in the lake naked backwards. Okay. Pay $10,000 to be a healer. Okay. 66.3. Self-sabotage by the strongest thought. Self-sabotage by a thought, giving too much energy to a thought, and now becomes your Lord and Savior. Thanks, Bugs Bunny Jesus. Thanks. Bugs Bunny Jesus. Now that motherfucker's your devil. 1-5. You done already gave all your potential to your teacher. Bugs Bunny becomes your teacher. What did I just say? Oh, you don't want to save yourself? I'll show you how to get free. What was this about? You trapped in that glass and you don't trust yourself? So since you don't trust yourself and you don't want to use your energy, give it to me. To be fair, let's go into allegories. Judas, by allegory, allegories and alliterations, only wanted Jesus to use his power. So he set up that meeting so that Jesus could use his power and set himself free. Was that malicious? Let's be real. If we're going to play allegories and alliterations, hey man, I know you can do this, but you on some fuck shit because you saying your punk ass daddy got a plan. Nah, fuck that. You ain't got to die, and I'm not going to watch you die. So I'm going to go set these motherfuckers up, and you going to pull that them lasers out your hand, and you gonna blow them ops away. I got you, Jesus. Only Jesus is like, nah, I can't just do that shit. So then it made Judas look like he was a bitch. Who was the devil? Judas was just trying to make Jesus stand up for himself. But Jesus didn't want to stand up for himself because Jesus wanted to stick to the plan in that allegory. But that made Judas become the devil. Just like in the allegories, and I'm telling you, that makes Bugs Bunny look like he's the bad guy. If you don't want to save yourself, motherfuckers like me to keep trying to give you tidbits on potentialities on how you might want to look within yourself to save yourself, you don't want to hear shit I gotta say. Because it don't make sense with that bullshit you trapped into listening to. Get it? You don't want to hear shit somebody like me got to say because it doesn't make sense to that bullshit you've already been programmed into listening to. See, that's not what so-and-so said. That ain't what I read. That ain't what I know. My life been so hard because I keep doing the same shit. And I'm not saying that your shit gonna get better by just doing it my way. But if you keep doing it your way, it ain't been getting your way, maybe you getting in your way by doing it that way. Oops. 663. 2/3 of the devil is what you're using to help yourself. You keep giving all your potential to your teacher. Only your teacher might be your master. And your dumb ass enslaved. Oops, or under manipulation. 1-5, one thing that's moving you might be two things that's keeping you from being free. One of them fives got you going in two different directions. That's a bad thing. Damn, I see that, and I'm gonna keep going there because it's real prominent in my energy, and I get why. Going back to that celebrity, where I said he focused too much on what his wife has got going on and how he can appease her. He can't even appease himself. He gives her all that energy that he is now letting her manipulate him by manipulating himself. That 1-5 got him going in two different directions. So even when he find her, he's still going to be lost. Because he only going to find her, but he still ain't found himself. The minute she decides to take him back off balance, he going to be twice as lost. Damn. And she is an Oya energy. Little troll. Not Oya, but that little motherfucker's a troll. 11:22. Justifying what you're building. People are dying on the hills for which they believe. I keep saying it, I keep posting it, and it's going to become heavier. People are dying on the hills which they keep believing in, and it's a lot of shit that they believe in that don't even believe in them. And they're basically the same shit I just said. You keep using shit that you believe in, shit that you've been taught, shit that you want to see, shit that you think you know that ain't never panned out for you, and you don't want to do nothing different. So you dying on heels, and them motherfuckers are crumbling, and you getting buried up under them, but you don't want to do nothing different. So you don't want to take accountability for change. So you're going to have to take accountability for your own destruction. And I'm not wishing it on you, but it is what it is. When you will not come off of that hill that is about to be crumbled, when that motherfucker collapse, 11:22. 11, the justification for separation. 22, what you building. If I keep justifying, separate myself from what might be saving me because I keep building it up more than I'm building me, when it tears me down, I justify tearing me down too. Because I burnt myself. I was more passionate about it than I was about myself, which meant I burnt me. Rage. I gave all of my fires to it. 2, 3. Connected to that thought. What did that thought do? Deceive you. 2, 3. 33. That's coming up next. 30. Well, it ain't coming up next. Well, it is coming up next. 33. The experience. Again, get back to the celebrity. The experience that he wants to have with his wife is more important than the experience he's having with himself. Like I said, go to Disney and watch some of these beautiful things that this man is doing. I mean, beautiful shit. Have me in awe, like, holy shit, that's some profound shit. And you don't value that because you worrying about this bald-headed bat? You burning yourself. You ain't catching the meat of this fucking spiritual journey that you on. Because you soul trapped with a troll. You're burning yourself. You're connected to somebody that's deceiving you. And again, like I said, it ain't her fault, it's his. Because he's deceiving himself because he's placed too much energy into the connection that he's burned himself. 2, 3, 33. The experience. He's the genie. He has bound himself to her. Holy shit. Can't remember the name of that movie, but it was the one with Idris Elba. 1,000 Years or something like that. And he was in love with Sheba. God damn, that Sheba in that movie was bad. But he was in love with Sheba. And Solomon or whoever it was bound him to the bottle and turned him into a genie. He was so much in love with her that, boom, he ended up bound to the damn bottle. Passion, his passion for wanting her, he wanted her so bad, he ended up being enslaved for thousands of years. You can want something so bad that you end up sacrificing yourself. Don't do that. You can want something so bad. You can want this illusion of separation to be what you've been taught it to be so bad that you can sacrifice your soul. Talked about this a few weeks ago, and I'll briefly talk about it now. I've run into a lot of transition spirits who's still sitting there waiting on Jesus. And I'm not trying to be funny because everybody has a different experience. But I've talked to a lot of transition people who are waiting on whatever deity they thought was going to be there, and some of them don't know. Some of them don't show up because some of them don't know who was waiting on them, and some of them just ain't there. So you could waste your energy in belief, your whole incarnated life cycle, and when you transition, you think you finna go to glory, and glory don't go to you. And now you done burnt your energy into experience that you bound your energy to, and now you left in Nexus. I don't even want to say purgatory. You left in the Nexus field. You left in limbo. Trying to reconcile and heal from all that energetic, that light bubble, all that energetic investment that you built up that couldn't go nowhere. So you have to watch that shit. A lot of people are doing that shit now. You got so many beliefs and so many hangups of what you just keep telling yourself these things are. And it's not what life is showing you, but it's what you won't let go of. And you got to let your life tell your tale on that. I'm not trying to take anything from anybody. If it's showing you that, hold on to it, because this is a multi-perspective experience. What I see is what I see. What you see is what you see. But if what you see is only what you are figmentally creating for yourself, break the delusion. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 33. Remember, 2 3s, the same thing as 33. 33. Thoughts and replication, aka experience. If you don't want to be God, then the thoughts will take the power from you, take the power for you from you. The Gen function. Basically everything I already said. Like I said, with Bugs Bunny, if you don't want to set yourself free, I'll show you how to get free. So, the thoughts and replication, aka experience. The thought that said, if you deceiving yourself, then I'm going to take the energy and I'm going to deceive you too. And again, like I said, it's not malicious. The Bugs Bunny function. If you don't want to see yourself, then I'm going to take the thought, I'm going to take the energy from you, and I'm going to show you a bunch of shit that ain't going to show you too. And maybe eventually you'll realize, hey, that ain't me. But only what do we do here? Go further into what ain't us trying to find us. We go further into the amnesia experience that ain't us trying to find us by playing soul roles, becoming spirit in separation. And again, like I said earlier, going into the delusion of what we think is spirit, where spirit was us in separation, asking us in the form of spirit in separation how to hold us together. Make that fucking make sense. Your spirit in separation, only you forget who the fuck you are, but you asking spirit in separation try to get back to who you are, when spirit don't even remember either. That's a lot of fucking overwhelm. It's the Lilith choice. You're the wheel of fortune. You the ups and downs. You're an overwhelm. Holy shit, what I tell you this year was empathic overwhelm. What is empath? Energy being moved on a path. You are on an energetic path of moving away from yourself. You are in the separation, moving away from yourself, trying to find out who you are, but in the motions of trying to find out who you are playing the roles of who you are not. Humor me if you will. You remember that scene from the original Doctor Strange when the Ancient One hit him and he flew back out of his body and it was like multiple versions of him watching himself? He was seeing who he was not as he was watching who he thought he was. He was moving from who he thought he was into who he thought he was not. He was going through his empathic vibrations into his multiple variations of life all at once. In other words, he had already transcended time, which ain't nothing but a permeated field that holds your psyche together. Because your human psyche can't function without time. Most people's mind will fall apart if you get outside of time. So he was in overwhelm, the Lilith choice. You chose between movement that is going to get you enslaved and movement that's going to get you enslaved. What's 5 plus 5? 10. You move between separating yourself, trying to figure out how to hold yourself together by separating yourself so that you can hold yourself together, so that you can figure out how to separate yourself so you can hold yourself together. That's the experience. That thought says, I'll show you how to deceive yourself by moving so that you can figure out how to be still. $15. You are your own Satan. You advocate for your own adversity here. I'll show you how to move so you can learn how to be still. It's like a 70s parent beating you and then telling you to be quiet. Shut up! You just beat the shit out of me. The fuck you expect me to be quiet? 1 minus 1, motherfucker. You the devil now. You just helped me make noise, and now you just told me to be quiet. The fuck? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you your own Satan. You advocate for your own adversity. You're going to succumb to something. Remember I said, you trying to move so that you can learn to be still. One of them going to get you. Remember I gave you the example of the 55. And if you've been watching me and I've been trying to reiterate it for the past few days, what I tell you 55 is the chessboard. 55, the energy just says, as a master manipulator, it just says, 2-5 just says, show up and play the game. 2-5 says, just show up and give me your energy. Just move. Show up and just move. I'm going to advocate for my adversity. You can either move or you can be still. Just make a choice. See, you can honor this trickster, sacred clown. Choose stillness and figure out what's got your energy. Or you can go against everything he says and then keep moving until you ain't got no energy left and then figure out how to be still once you ain't got no energy left. You're going to succumb either way it go. You're going to make a choice. Either way it go, you're going to come to this experience because that thought then already fooled you into giving up your energy. That thought then already fooled you into giving up the energy. You want to know how the thought already fooled you to give up the energy? Because the thought already put a bug in your ear. The thought already got you to sign a contract. The thought already said there's 2 5s. See, the thought already presented possibility. There's 2 5s. There's 2 ways to play this game. I wish I had a perfect example for this, but there's plenty of old movies, and I think probably it comes up in that newer movie, the one with, I think it was The Horseman, Morgan Freeman, and some of them with Woody Harrelson, where they were all magicians. There's 2 ways to play this game. Did you catch what I just did? There's 2 ways to play this game, and then what I'm going to do right here is, next thing you know, they didn't already programmed you, because they didn't already tricked you while talking to you, but they didn't already programmed you, they didn't already put something on you, and they gave you the instructions, but they didn't already played the game on you. They didn't already took your wallet. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't already took your wallet. They didn't already called and emptied your bank account even before you even came to the show. You didn't already succumb to the trick before they even introduced you to the trick. That is a true trickster. That is a true thought. The thought that has already entered the thinker. The thought that has already entered the thinker before the thinker is aware of what he's thinking is called a fucking programming. Do you understand that? If you don't understand anything else I said tonight, please pay attention to that. The thought that has already entered your mind before you realize it's in there, it's not yours. It's programming. The thought that was already there before you realize it's in there, it's not yours. It already has you. Just waiting to tell you what to do. 6, the choice. I snicker on purpose. The choice. The choice to find the time, to make time, to create experience, just to have a memory and record leaves nothing but traumas as a foundation for each move you make. The whole thing is, like I said, the 55 energy says, I'm a chessboard, just show up and move so that we can create experiences. The whole thing is the thought just needs your permission to move and create experiences. How can I keep track of these experiences? You're going to create time, which is an energetic marker for the experiences that you perceive to go through. The results of the energetic markers that you perceive to go through, the results of the experience that you perceive to go through are called traumas. The results of the experience that you perceive to go through are called traumas. The value of the traumas you go through in correlation to who you went through with is called karma. Anything else that you're going to lie to yourself about, good luck with it. Karma is the value of your perception of a trauma versus who else you lie to yourself about you went through it with. That is not a realistic function. That is not a karma gonna get them because you did me wrong. That is no, we went through an energetic experience together and you bore the brunt of the blast. But that does not mean that in the near future, I'm going to bear the brunt of the blast the next time, especially if I don't take accountability. And especially if you don't take accountability for doing something different. It just means we created a time stamp that says over 400 years, you left a lot of trauma because we both did the same thing. You stayed down there and I stayed up here, and holy sheep shit. I don't want to do nothing different. Even when you tried to do something different, I made sure I stayed the same. Even when you tried to do something different, I made sure I stayed to do the same. And as time flowed, the foundation, 6, is the trauma. 6, the choice, is the trauma. The foundation is the trauma. The foundation is the marker from where you created the experience and you allow it to stay in flow. But it was the choice to initiate the energy to even create. 6 in my system is where you look at the possibilities and probabilities of what you're about to create. If you make a choice, that will become your initial foundation. That will become your initial foundation before you actually create the trauma, but it is the field of the trauma before you feel it. It is the field, football field, of the trauma before you feel it with your energy. It's the motivation point. It's the siren. It is where you listen. 88, trauma point. My number system, 88, the traumatic memory point. Basically everything I just said. The voice in my head, the siren, it is where I'm about to listen to the voice in my head that is going to convince me to move, and I'm going to get dashed on the rocks. Or it's going to convince me and it's going to nourish me. You see that? This is the siren. Either it's going to dash me on the rock or I'm going to get some delicious titty. One way or the other, I'm going to move. Either it's a foundation. I'm going to move with motivation to get ahead, or I'm going to move with distraction, and it's going to get me killed. But here's the trick. It's an infinite choice because it's only a thought. The thought was just a program. Aging myself. Some of y'all are close to my age. The movie War Games. Run a simulation. Did not win. Try next simulation. Did not win. Try next simulation. 697 life cycles later. Did not win. It's a simulation. I am motivated to keep playing this game until I find a way to get out of that blue glass. I'm going to keep moving through this traumatic field of thoughts in motion until I can find one that will allow me to be still. I will keep on creating foundation points of my energy and motion until I find one that allows me to be still at the end. Hope, can't never find one. Oh, create again. Oh, did not allow me to be still. Oh, create again. Akashic lie. Boop. Found another one. Did not allow it. Boop. Found another one. Did not allow it. Boop. Another one. Infinite. Infinite. You'll never find one that allow you to be still at the end, because the problem is when you find one that allow you to be still, the other pieces of you that's still moving around in that blue glass still caught up in their separation too, because they are you. They are you. Take one molecule of water out of that glass and take it outside the water. It's still a part of the glass. The water ain't free. Just that one drop. Put that one drop back in. Still enslaved. If that makes sense. It's a perception game. And I'm not saying there's not a way out, but you won't get out on your own. That's a trap. You won't get out of your own in perception of thinking in terms of individuality of the soul. You have to go into remembrance of yourself as a source. Soul, separation. Spirit, a designation of source in separation. Source, wholeness. Source, spirit, soul, perception, infinity within there. The smaller it gets, the bigger it gets. It's the same thing like with CERN. They take these small particles and they can open up fucking multiverses with it. The smaller the piece, the bigger the energy. Source, spirit, soul, infinity. We're playing out the infinite perspective of souls, just playing roles because it has no remembrance of itself as spirit, which spirit has no remembrance of itself as source. Source lost its identity. Source lost its identity as self. Not even gonna do that. Why? Because the foundation was lost. The foundation was lost. It's so simple it's not, because no one wants it to be. Exactly. And that is the whole basis for the cosmic schizophrenia and the cosmic psychosis. It's like, if you admit your own sickness, then you have to face it. Remember I was saying earlier about how you won't get any change because of the lack of white accountability in today. If white accountability would actually do something different, then there would be change. But because white accountability won't make change, it just needs to keep finding something else to point the finger at, then all we're going to keep getting is this tap dancing. They'll be able to eat babies in public. They'll keep putting human meat in McDonald's. Trump will still keep shitting on the flag and all this other stuff, because the conditionalisms of their safety won't allow them to take accountability, because they don't want to fix that sickness. So it can't be exactly what you said. They don't want to face it. So it's not real. But the minute that they start to fix that, all the shit falls apart. So God card in reverse. It's selfish. If they take accountability, and it's not just on them, it's on us all, because even though we tried to say something and we never had the position and potential to actually make change, we could have done more. We could still do more. But now, balls in their court. Put up or shut up. You see it sick. Do something besides post and stand on the corner with a no king sign. Do something more. If it was somebody else, y'all, if it was a person of color doing some of this shit, y'all would have been lynched in by now. So, not trying to play the race card, but let's just be real. So, the fact that it's just more pandering and stammering means that there is no admission and there's no accountability, because nobody wants to take accountability for the sickness because they're not ready to admit it. So, they just need to keep pointing the finger. Selfishness. Mindfulness. They're mindful of losing what's kept them safe. 34, that thought keeps them trapped. What was this about? That thought will keep you trapped. I'm not going to rock the boat that's going to have me lose my safety just so you can learn to be free. History has already shown us that. Nobody will do anything to protect somebody else at the risk of putting themselves in harm. It's just not a human condition. Might get one or two John Browns here and there, but overall, nah, fuck that shit. You shouldn't expect it. But people are going to die on a lot of hills that they shouldn't be believing in. Full moon tomorrow. Happy full moon. Wholeness. 10:12 p.m. Buckle up. Hell, I don't even know how to get out of here anymore. It won't even let me get out.